Excuse me. Bunch of glass eyes over here. Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going on, do you?
Yeah.
Can't see my house.
Oh.
If you buy the top of that mountain, build a house right over the top of that mountain. Parade around the cemetery.
That damn truck was making so much noise.
Who's the Delta?
What?
No, I'm just narrating.
Oh, what'd you say? I didn't hear.
I said, there's the Delta.
Oh.
Because I'm a very good narrator.
Oh, yeah?
No.
Al Jolson performed there. Many towns had their opera houses, but this was one of a kind. The entire wooden floor of the opera house is mounted on springs. The idea was when they came there to dance, their feet wouldn't get so sore, so they would stay longer. They would eat more and drink more, make more money for the company. Also, the floor of the stage is angled slightly towards the audience, so they could have a better view of the performers. Virginia City is 6,200 feet above sea level, same height as Lake Tahoe. We get about 5 inches of rain, about 15 inches of snow a year. We have a population of 700. In the old days, the miners worked 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. They were paid $4 a day. Most were single men, and they lived in these rooms on either side of us, up on the second and third floors. There were a lot of those rooms throughout town at that time. The rent for these rooms were 50 cents to $1 a week, and if it included board, then it was about $4 a week. Doesn't seem like very much money, but they were only earning about 33 cents an hour. On the right, the Way It Was Museum is probably the best of the museums in Virginia City. They have a lot of memorabilia from the homes and businesses. Their main attraction is mining equipment. They do have a nice collection of antique dolls. They have about a 20-minute video of Virginia City, which is interesting. Out there overnight, decided to practice their painting techniques, and they found some gold. So they began painting up that stream, and they reached this point on Sun Mountain several years later. That was the beginning of Virginia City. Virginia City got its name from a miner from Virginia. He would never let anyone forget that Virginia was the prettiest place on earth. One day, after drinking a little bit too much, he bought a bottle and started home. When he went out the door of the saloon, he fell and broke the bottle. So as not to be embarrassed, he said, "I christened this place Virginia Town." Others heard about it, kind of laughed at him, but thought it was a nice enough name, so they kept it. And in 1888, they changed it to Virginia City. And the Fireman's Cemetery is on the right-hand side of the path, right down here at the front. Julia Bulette, Virginia City. Little brown church on the left is St. Paul's Episcopal. The house next to it is a rectory. The big one is St. Mary and the Mountain Catholic. They're both destroyed in a big fire and rebuilt. The Catholic Church is open until 5 o'clock today. You're welcome to walk down the hill, walk around inside. It's a self-guided tour, so you can stay as long as you like. The interior has been restored. Looks pretty much like it did back in 1875. Very impressive. Europe. Of all the homes, Mr. Mackey liked this one the best, but Mrs. Mackey preferred the home in England. She spent a lot of her time over there. It's open until 5 o'clock today for tours. It's the only one of the mansions that is open at this time. Yellow house on the right in front of us is the Savage, built in 1875 and used until 1936. Had as many as 1,025 students on 3 floors and a basement. Had every class from 1 through 12. It has a centralized heating system, also an indoor drinking fountain, which was unheard of back in those days. One of 6 schools in Virginia City. There were about 25,000 people in this area, and 5,000 were children. Total cost of construction was $30,000. Now they're spending well over $100,000 to restore the school. On our right, down the hill and in front of us, just the other side of this pink house, the white and brown houses sitting next to each other were owned by miners who hated each other with a passion. The guy in the brown house had his house built in another part of town. Then when he found out his enemy had bought their property and built the White House, he went out, bought the property next door, and had his house moved. He had it put right on the property line so his neighbors can't see out the side windows. They can't get any cool breeze in the evening either. As we go by, you'll see they're less than 12 inches apart. They're known as the Spite Houses. They've been featured in several magazines. Right down there on our right, folks. And on our left up the hill in front of us, that brown house known as the Castle was built in 1868. Most everything in it is original. The chandeliers, the floor coverings, the wallpaper, all the furniture came from either Germany or England. Around Cape Horn to San Francisco, and then by wagon train up here. The doorknobs are all made of silver. That was mined right here on the Comstock. Doesn't open until later this summer, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about it anyway. Little cream-colored church on the left, and the next 12 buildings on the left-hand side of the street is all that was left of the business district after the Great Fire of 1875. Wiped out 90% of the businesses and a lot of homes in just 12 hours. Fire was started by a drunk that was trying to light a cigar over a lamp. Tipped it over, caught the rooming house on fire. The wind was blowing pretty hard, and it was in the wintertime. All the fire hydrants were frozen. And on our right in front of us, the old yellow and green railroad car was one used in the old days to take the gold and silver bars down to the mint in Carson City. On the left in front of us, the old Washoe Club was started in 1862. Up on the second and third floor was gambling for millionaires only. On our left in front of us, the only mine tour goes out the back of the Ponderosa and into the side of the mountain behind us. Open until 5 o'clock today. Crystal Bar on the left is the oldest bar in one location in Virginia City. It's been in that building since 1886. And on the right in front of us, a building just this side of the parking lot, is the Territorial Enterprise, the very first newspaper in Nevada. Mark Twain worked in that building for 21 months. Then he went over to California to the gold fields and wrote about the jumping frogs of Calaveras County. On our left, the Gambling Museum is quite interesting. They have about $500,000 worth of all kinds of antique gambling devices, including some old slot machines from the 1900s, early 1900s. They got a couple of machines in there that you can see the insides of. You can pull the handles for free and see how they operate. Also to the left, the Delta Saloon has the famous suicide table. It has portraits of all the Silver Kings, including John Mackey, his partner. Picture of Julia Bulette over there on the wall that you should see. You'll be surprised what she looks like. Have some coupons for those over 21 from the Delta, and I'll pass those out as soon as we get up here in our parking spot. Thank you for going on the tour. Have a good time. Enjoy yourselves, and
That's about the best I can do.